Lots of cancellations and delays at San Diego International right now.
So the National Weather Service issued a dense fog advisory. That's going to be in effect until 10 a.m. for coastal.
These few days I have been having this weird feeling like something big is about to happen, right? Like this weird feeling of impending doom. I have been having this crazy feeling like in my belly. I don't know what it is, okay? To be brutally honest, I feel like something is already happening. And here's why. For the last few days, there have been crazy reports of dense, thick fog in many states all over America, in addition to the UK. Now, this is not your regular fog, because a lot of people have been reporting that they have been seeing some weird type of mist coming out of the sky with this fog, okay? In addition to that, there have been 4 plane crashes, y'all, within the last 5 days, okay? 3 of those plane crashes occurred within the last 24 hours. You had one on Christmas Day in Kazakhstan, and then within the last 24 hours, you had one in South Korea, Nova Scotia, as well as Norway. In addition to that, y'all, so many people have been reporting this weird sickness, whereas though they're having muscle soreness, sore throat, body aches, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, the whole 9, and they said that this sickness had just been coming out of nowhere. I don't know about you, but I feel like something big is happening or about to happen, and these people just are not telling us.
Imagine waking up in the morning, opening the window, and encountering a thick, dense fog filled with a chemical odor that irritates the throat and brings an inexplicable feeling of restlessness. This is not an isolated or regional phenomenon. It is something that has been reported in many places around the world, ignoring climates, borders, and seasons. While social networks explode with theories and heated debates, the mainstream media maintains a silence that only increases suspicions. And it is precisely in this silence that the doubt lies. What is really happening? You may have seen amateur videos or read reports of people who feel sick after coming into contact with this mist. Others point to events coinciding with mysterious drones, unusual storms, and even bizarre behavior among animals. But why doesn't this information reach the general public? Why does everything seem to be swept under the rug as the phenomenon spreads unchecked? If you are here, you probably also feel that something bigger is happening, something that goes beyond what we are told. This fog may be more than just a natural phenomenon. It could be a sign of something we don't yet fully understand. But what if it's just the beginning? A warning that there are greater forces at work, shaping the world in ways we can't even imagine. Are you prepared to question, investigate, and understand what's really behind it? Brace yourself, because the answers may be just as disturbing as the questions. Before we move forward, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video. Every day we bring you new content about prophecies and the prophetic events that are unfolding around us. There are reports emerging from all parts of the world of thick, sticky, and strangely persistent fog. It's not the kind of fog that evaporates at dawn, but an almost suffocating presence, accompanied by a pungent chemical smell. Some people have described alarming symptoms after contact, such as sore throats that don't ease, nausea that appears out of nowhere, and even unexplained muscle pain. Imagine going out for a morning walk and being enveloped by an opaque curtain of vapor that seems to carry with it something more than just water. This has left many on alert. Interestingly, this phenomenon does not respect geographic or cultural borders. From large metropolises to smaller cities, the same descriptions arise: a fog that seems alive, penetrating, and difficult to ignore. The theories run wild, from simple pollution to something more elaborate and purposeful. After all, how can we explain something that affects people in such similar ways, in such different places? It's as if nature is delivering a message that we still can't decipher. Are we facing a new climate variable, or something darker and more intentional? And the effects are not just physical. Psychologically, this haze has a marked impact, generating collective anxiety and fueling heated discussions in online forums. People report episodes of panic when they feel the substance in the air, fearing they are facing something unprecedented and possibly dangerous. How to deal with something so palpable and at the same time so mysterious? Maybe the answer lies in looking at what's happening beyond the obvious, because where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Or perhaps something even more complex. But what if this fog is just the beginning of something much bigger? Aristotle says it best: life is made up of many things, and everything contributes to the consciousness of the collective. The fog mystery is not an isolated case, Reports have emerged not only in the United States, but also in countries in Europe, Asia, and even remote regions of Africa. It is as if the entire planet is being enveloped by a phenomenon that ignores differences in climate, geography, and culture.
All right, so it's crazy foggy right now. But that's not the weird part, okay? Like, number one, it's weird because as it gets later in the day, fog should lighten, dissipate, and it's really not. But the weirdest part is the taste and smell. It smells like after you set off a bunch of fireworks, and like the taste of the air is, I mean, the only word I can think of is toxic. It's super weird, and so I'm going for my walk, and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, it smells not right. And I'm 41. I've been through fog. This is something different. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that.
Imagine waking up in a quiet town in Germany and encountering the same dense fog that afflicts residents in a small village in India. The similarity in accounts is striking, raising urgent questions about the scale of this event. In London, for example, one of the most monitored urban centers in the world, security cameras captured the arrival of this fog in a matter of minutes, covering entire neighborhoods. Meanwhile, farmers in Australia report that the substance appears to settle on crops, even affecting the growth of some crops. These global occurrences suggest something deeper and more coordinated, generating heated debates among scientists, environmentalists, and even religious leaders. Could this be a sign that something bigger is at play, perhaps something that transcends our current understanding? The feeling of helplessness in the face of such a comprehensive phenomenon is palpable. How to explain something that ignores borders and defies conventional explanations? Theories range from extreme climate change to the use of yet-to-be-revealed technologies. Some experts even question whether we are observing the beginning of a global pattern that could shape the future of humanity. For years, scientists have believed we had little choice and that global technologies like augmented reality were the answer, however, seems to be hidden beneath layers of this mysterious fog. And that leaves us with more questions than answers. What if this global manifestation is part of an even bigger puzzle that connects events we are about to unravel? What is most intriguing about this global phenomenon is not just the fog itself, but the deafening silence of the mainstream media. In a world where even the most trivial events become headlines, how can something of this magnitude go almost unnoticed? Social media is abuzz with amateur videos, detailed reports, and fiery discussions, but mainstream news channels seem to avoid the subject as if it were taboo. This report seems one of the best interviews since it was unexpectedly long in the tooth. This naturally generated a whirlwind of theories, from environmental manipulation to conspiracies involving governments and powerful corporations. Many speculate that this silence may be intentional, an attempt to divert public attention from something larger. For example, there are those who believe that fog is a test for environmental control technologies, or even a large-scale experiment on the world's population. Others point to connections with extreme climate change, saying governments are hiding the truth to avoid panic. But if it were just an isolated case, why then do the same hazy patterns emerge in countries with such different politics and interests? Before continuing the video, an important message. Do you feel that we are living in challenging times, but still cannot fully understand what is happening around us? So that you can understand more clearly and quickly the signs that surround us, it is essential to be aware of the prophecies that are being fulfilled in our days. Many still don't realize the magnitude of what is happening in the world, and that's exactly why I decided to offer something special to all channel subscribers, an exclusive digital ebook titled The Secret Behind the Holy Bible. This book is an unmissable opportunity to access impactful revelations about biblical prophecies, which will open your eyes to current reality. Don't let this unique chance pass you by. The knowledge contained in this ebook can transform the way you see events around you, offering a new perspective on global events that have a direct connection with what was prophesied millennia ago. And best of all, the process to get your gift is quick and simple. Just click on the link available in the first pinned comment to immediately download the ebook. Continuing the video. Meanwhile, online communities are becoming the new information hubs. Forums and video sharing platforms have brought together independent experts, witnesses, and onlookers, trying to connect the dots of this puzzle. It is fascinating to observe how, amid institutional silence, society finds ways to seek the truth on its own. But it also raises a disturbing question. What if what we're seeing and discussing is just the tip of the iceberg? Since the tip of the iceberg, the truth is really the tip of the iceberg. What if the fog is just one piece of a much more elaborate plan yet to come? While the fog continues to cause unrest, another curious phenomenon has challenged what we know about the climate. Meteorological events that seem like something out of a science fiction movie. Imagine snow falling in the middle of the Sahara Desert, covering scorching dunes with an icy white blanket. This type of occurrence, which would previously have been considered impossible, now appears on local news as if it were an interesting anomaly. But is it really just that? And what about the furious storms that formed in Florida in the middle of summer, bringing hailstorms and unpredictable winds? Meteorological experts are divided. Some believe these changes are clear signs of a planet out of balance, perhaps a reflection of climate change that has been debated for years. Others, however, suggest that these events may be linked to human interventions, such as climate experiments, or even side effects of emerging technologies. Whatever the explanation, one thing is certain: old patterns are being disrupted, and this forces us to question what we really know about the stability of our environment. For many, these events are more than scientific curiosities. They are clear warnings that something is deeply wrong. Imagine farmers in Brazil who, instead of just worrying about droughts or intense rains, now face completely unpredictable cycles. Or families in the Middle East, who never needed heaters, suddenly having to adapt to freezing temperatures. These events are not just statistical data. These are realities that impact lives. But while science tries to unravel what's going on, are we ready to understand what's really behind it all? What makes the fog even more intriguing is its apparent connection to other unexplained events that are happening at the same time. Multiple reports speak of mysterious drones flying over urban and rural areas, often at night, with no identification or known purpose. These devices appear in regions affected by the fog, as if they were monitoring or even interacting with the phenomenon. Additionally, strange behaviors have been observed in animals: birds migrating in the wrong direction, dogs howling in broad daylight, and even reports of livestock simply disappearing without a trace. Another curious factor are the geomagnetic disturbances that coincide with the arrival of fog in certain areas. Navigation systems begin to fail, compasses lose north, and electronic equipment suffers inexplicable interference. Imagine trying to guide yourself with a GPS, only to discover that it cannot locate your position. These events, once restricted to fictional stories, are now becoming a disconcerting reality. Could there be a connection between all of this? And most importantly, who or what was behind these phenomena? For many, the connection between these events is no coincidence. Independent theorists and scientists have proposed hypotheses ranging from the presence of new forms of artificial intelligence to the interference of forces external to our planet. Be that as it may, the pattern is undeniable. Something is happening, something that seems bigger than we can comprehend at the moment. But what if these interconnected events are actually parts of a meticulous plan that is still being revealed? Are we about to witness something that will change the way we see the world? Beyond science and modern theories, there are those who see these phenomena as the fulfillment of ancient prophecies. Ancient texts from different cultures speak of signs in nature and the heavens that would precede great transformations. The dense fog, mysterious drones, strange animal behavior, and geomagnetic disturbances are, for many, more than coincidences. They echo passages that warn of world-shaking events, marking the beginning of something greater. Imagine looking at the sky and asking yourself, were these manifestations ever predicted? Some religious traditions mention phenomena such as signs in the heavens or sickness in the air, as warnings of times of great tribulation. Others see these anomalies as signs of a change of eras, suggesting that forces beyond human understanding are at work. Interestingly, fog in particular is cited in prophecies that describe a veil over the earth, which symbolizes both literal and metaphorical darkness. This veil, they say, would bring confusion and separate those who can see the truth from those who remain blind. Are we experiencing this separation now? Even outside religious traditions, visionary thinkers like Nostradamus and other seers have made references to extreme weather events and unexplained disturbances on earth and in the heavens. These connections raise profound questions. Are we seeing the world move towards a destiny already mapped out? Or are these interpretations just attempts to make sense of the inexplicable? The doubt persists, but one thing is clear: the feeling that we are at a unique moment in history. What if these signs are just the prelude to something even more impressive? In the face of all these events, fog is not only a physical phenomenon, but also a silent warning. For many, it represents something bigger, an invitation to look beyond the obvious and question what is being hidden in plain sight. Why so much silence from authorities and the media? Are we being distracted from something much more meaningful? This mystery invites each of us to seek answers and not accept everything as given. After all, in times of uncertainty, ignorance can be the biggest trap. The moment calls for a collective awakening, a kind of break of enchantment that keeps us stuck in routine and ready-made narratives. If something so global and visible is happening without explanation, what else could be being overlooked? Groups of people have already begun to take action, gathering data, sharing information, and building independent surveillance networks. You can be part of this too, whether by investigating, questioning, or simply remaining aware of what is happening around you. Small actions, like observing changes in the local environment, can reveal more than we realize. Fog, weather events, mysterious drones, and even animal behaviors challenge us to see the world with new eyes. This is not the time to be passive or apathetic, but to seek understanding. What questions haven't you asked yet? What connections have you not yet explored? Perhaps the real question is not just what is happening, but what is to come. What if this fog is just the prelude to something much bigger, an event that will change the way we understand life and the world? What do all these events have in common? They are a clear call to wake up and see beyond what we are shown. This fog, silent and enigmatic, is like a test. It challenges our sense of curiosity, our ability to investigate, and, most importantly, our courage to question. After all, how much longer are we going to accept the comfort of easy explanations while something so unusual unfolds right before our eyes? But the most important question is not what is happening, but what are you going to do about it? Will you continue waiting for someone to bring ready-made answers, or will you start searching on your own? Ask questions, look for reliable sources, talk to people who are also paying attention, and above all, don't ignore the signs. It's like that. Any true change begins with small actions that together can reveal the complete picture. So here's the challenge. What steps can you take today to understand what's happening around you? What are you willing to do to not just be a spectator but an active participant in your own reality? If this content aroused your curiosity, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and continue following. There is much more to be explored and understood. The question is, are you ready to see beyond the fog? If one were to describe you on the street, then this content would be taken as all people are the same. Have you ever wondered about the mysteries of biblical prophecies and how they are being fulfilled before our eyes? This is the time to understand the signs of the end times and the divine plan that is unfolding. On our channel, you will find in-depth analysis of prophetic events, such as the arrival of the Antichrist, the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem, and the role of global powers in the 2030 agenda. We explore topics such as advanced technology and its connection to Scripture, offering insight, clear and grounded teaching to strengthen your faith and prepare you for the times to come. By subscribing to the channel, you will have access to exclusive and transformative content that unveils the mysteries of the Scriptures, explained in a simple and practical way. Our mission is to help you understand current events from a biblical perspective, while building a community of people committed to seeking the truth and living according to God's plans. Don't waste time. Each video could be the answer you were looking for. Click the subscribe button right now and activate the bell so you don't miss any content. This is more than a channel. It is a call for you to prepare and strengthen your faith. Time is running out, but those who trust in Christ are safe. Sign up today and discover how to fully live what God has in store for you. Don't forget to download our book, The Secret Behind Biblical Prophecies. There are already more than 500 copies sold, and we are at the last units, so don't waste time and enjoy. I guarantee that you will acquire a lot of knowledge after reading this sensational book, written with great care and love for all the subscribers of our channel, completely based on the Holy Bible. At theReverendJRandall.com, the link is in the first pinned comment.